Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Please subscribe the channel and watch the video till end to know the facts. Imagine waking up one morning to news that the US dollar, the world's most trusted currency, is starting to lose its power. Markets are in panic, interest rates are spiking, and the world's financial system is trembling. Sounds like a movie? It's not. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has just released a warning that could shake the foundations of the global economy. A warning directed straight at the United States. For decades, America has been the financial heartbeat of the planet. The dollar is the global standard, the currency everyone trusts. From oil to gold, from Europe to Asia, nearly every major trade revolves around the greenback. But according to the IMF, this system, this financial dominance, is now under serious threat. And the reason is something most people don't even pay attention to. Debt. The United States owes more money than at any point in its history. Over $36 trillion. That's more than the combined GDP of China, Japan, Germany, and India. Every minute, this debt grows by millions of dollars. Every second, America spends more than it earns. And now, the IMF says the world might be approaching a point of no return. So what exactly is happening? Why is the IMF so concerned? In its latest report, the IMF didn't hold back. It stated that the US fiscal path is unsustainable, warning that Washington's spending and borrowing habits could eventually destabilize the entire global financial system. And this isn't just about numbers on paper. If the US falters, the consequences would ripple across the globe. From Wall Street to small markets in Africa, from European banks to Asian exporters. But before we go deeper, let's ask the question that matters most. How did America get here? Let's go back in time. After World War II, the United States emerged as the world's economic superpower. Its industries were booming, its innovation unmatched, and its military dominance unquestioned. The dollar became the world's reserve currency under the Bretton Woods Agreement, meaning other nations trusted it so much they built their economies around it. America could print, spend, and invest freely, and the world would follow. But over the decades, something changed. Wars, recessions, tax cuts, and massive spending programs began to pile up. Every administration, Republican or Democrat, added to the national debt. And now, the interest payments alone on that debt are larger than the US defense budget. Think about that. America is paying more to service its debt than to fund its military. The IMF's warning isn't just about economics, it's about trust. The entire world trusts the US government to manage its finances responsibly. But if that trust breaks, the global financial system could fracture. And here's where the story turns dark, because that trust is already fading. In the last 2 years, several countries, including China, Russia, and even Saudi Arabia, have started to reduce their dependence on the dollar. They're trading more in their own currencies or using alternatives. The IMF says this trend, known as de-dollarization, could accelerate if the US doesn't fix its fiscal problems soon. But why now? Why is the IMF speaking up so strongly in 2025? Because the numbers are terrifying. US interest rates remain high, inflation continues to pressure the economy, and political gridlock in Washington means nobody wants to take responsibility. Both parties know that fixing the debt requires either raising taxes or cutting spending, and both are political suicide. So instead, the US keeps borrowing. And the IMF says this could trigger a financial chain reaction unlike anything we've ever seen. Imagine a world where America can pay its bills, where the government has to delay payments to soldiers, Social Security recipients, or federal workers. Imagine the panic if US Treasury bonds, once seen as the safest investment on earth, suddenly lost value. Stock markets would plunge, currencies would collapse, and global trade would freeze overnight. This isn't just theoretical. We've seen warning signs before. In 2011, the US came within days of defaulting on its debt during a political standoff. In 2023, another debt ceiling crisis shook investor confidence. But this time, the IMF is saying the margin for error is gone. The world's patience is running out. And the scariest part, America's competitors are watching. China has been quietly building its own financial systems, launching the digital yuan, and signing major trade deals that bypass the dollar entirely. Russia, cut off from Western markets, is doing the same. Even allies like France and Brazil have recently conducted international trade without using US currency. The IMF's message is simple. If the US doesn't act soon, its position as the center of the global economy could crumble. But here's the twist. What if the US actually can't fix this? Think about it. The debt is growing faster than the economy. Interest payments are climbing. The government is divided. The public is polarized. and the rest of the world is quietly building a backup plan. Could we be seeing the slow-motion collapse of the American financial empire, the same way Rome fell not through invasion, but through overreach and internal decay? The IMF isn't predicting immediate collapse, but it is warning of a tipping point, a point where investors lose faith, inflation surges, and the dollar's value begins to fall rapidly. Once that happens, it could spiral beyond control. And here's where curiosity turns to fear, because behind closed doors, many economists believe that tipping point may already be closer than we think. So what would a global collapse look like? Banks tightening withdrawals, currencies fluctuating wildly, prices skyrocketing, unemployment rising, and social unrest spreading across nations that rely on U.S. stability. In such a scenario, even powerful countries would be forced to make tough choices, save their economies or their alliances. But not everyone agrees with the IMF. Some analysts argue that as long as the U.S. controls its own currency, it can always print money to pay its debts. Others say America's economic influence is too strong to fail, that every crisis will just make it stronger. Yet history shows us that no empire lasts forever, and the same arrogance that once fueled growth can also blind nations to their downfall. The question is, which future are we heading toward? Will the U.S. reform, rebuild, and lead a new era of financial stability? Or are we living through the beginning of an economic shift that future generations will study as the moment the balance of power changed forever? The IMF's warning isn't just about numbers, it's about choices and consequences. The decisions America makes today will shape not only its own future, but the world's. Because if the backbone of the global economy breaks, everyone feels the pain. So now, the question I'll leave you with is this: can America save itself before it's too late? Or will history remember this decade as the one where the U.S. empire fell, not to war, but to its own debt? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to stay updated.